Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 2. And so Hill is going to walk us through what we're going to talk about next.
Thank you for passing me the ball. And here we go. What we're going to talk about is how in our previous segment, we talked about how did our feelings change from E3 to now about the new consoles that are coming out later this year, this month, next month?
Next 3
November,
weeks.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And
Tomorrow.
there's this other console out there that's been around for some time. And how is it going to survive against these new arrival of consoles? And what we're talking about is the Wii U. No, that's not the only. That's not the full console for those that haven't bought it yet. What are you doing with a dusty ass controller? Oh, I wonder
That's
why.
because there's no games for it.
So, with that segue into what we're talking about, how is the Wii U going to start? Well, how's it going to do well against these consoles? And we're going to start with Mike, because I know Andrew has his whole soapbox.
Well, I mean, I think the Wii U had a really big advantage because of when it came out.
When it came out. They tried to do the Xbox 360.
It did, but I think it was underpowered and there was a lack of games.
Okay, well, you say that, but that was the same argument that they had with the initial Nintendo Wii.
And they haven't done anything to really improve on that, I think. I mean, they have
There
announced...
were people, standing in long lines for weeks at a time for those Wii. Maybe because it was a novel idea, just having motion control. Because that was not, prominent at all during that time.
Yeah, it was definitely a game changer when they brought it out. So.
And then they were like, hey, we're going to make it better. We're going to give you a big-ass controller with a screen on it.
That's right.
And no, that's not the console. It's attached to that.
Even though they made people confused.
Oh, yeah, I was confused. When the actual gamers...
This was a console.
Yeah, when the actual gamers are confused, that's bad marketing. Right off the back.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I'd agree with that assessment. I mean, they marketed it all wrong. I mean, starting off with the name and everything. So with the Wii U, I personally thought it should have been called Super Wii or something like that.
Super Wii.
Just something to differentiate itself. That's the next evolution of that system.
Yeah.
So, I mean, marketing went down. But, lately, they've been making some pretty, some headway in their games. They've been coming out slowly but steady.
Okay.
They weren't, ready for the HD conversion, so that took a while. Games getting delayed.
Because they're not used to that.
They're not used to that, right? Exactly. With the Zelda HD coming out, that one,
the Wind Waker.
The Wind Waker, that boosted up their sales. They cut down the price on the console.
Okay.
These things we all knew were going to happen.
Yeah.
Just to compete with the other.
But I think where Nintendo always runs into the same two problems. Okay.
Right.
Their first party releases are always late because they spend a lot of time in making a great game, which is understandable.
Right. They make the best games.
They make the best games, if not platformer games. Multiplayer games.
Right.
Okay.
No matter if Nintendo is
Or
actually
adventure
making
games,
the
I
game.
should say. Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo's making the game. It's an excellent game.
But it takes time.
It does.
And here's the thing. They don't... How should I say it? I want to say they don't have a good relationship with their third-party developers.
Right.
They don't. Because for every console, ever since, 64, they haven't really had a strong third-party following.
Right. I would agree with that. There's a lot of just trash games out there. I mean, Wii games that came out with it, there were so many stupid games for the Wii that you can go into a Best Buy now. They're like $10 or $5, and they're just trash. They're trash games, but they sell. The kids like them.
Well, typically, and that's what as far as what Microsoft would do and what Sony would do, because they have the same methods as Nintendo, and people don't see it, but they do. That they have their own first-party games that they're going to hang their hats on, like Halo. Halo takes a while for it to come out sometimes.
Right.
I was going to use Uncharted as an example, but maybe not now.
I would say anything by Santa Monica Games,
Right.
Because Sony has their stuff. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I think the difference between those is the third-party
Yeah, that's what I'm
games.
alluding to. Right.
I think Xbox does have Halo, but then they also release all these other third-party games that are really fantastic, and Nintendo doesn't have that.
I think typically what happens is that, and Nintendo lives in a bubble. They really do, because they feel when they came out with these novel aspects, these novel ideas, they feel like these companies, these third-party companies, can see their vision immediately.
Right.
And when you are not able to share or articulate that vision to these third-party companies, yeah, those games are going to become delayed. They may not believe in your same vision.
But the thing is, they do get it across, but only by making their own games. They get those visions across by like.
And their games come out too late. Right?
Yeah,
and you make a great point.
Right.
Trust
me.
me.
This is why when you see the 3DS came out, right, people were like, "Oh, 3D is stupid." Now it's like the number one console out there.
Right. Like because Rare is a good example. Because Rare was out there like just hanging out when 64 was around, and when Super Mario 64 came out, then everyone was like, "Oh, we get it. We know exactly how to make a 3D adventure game."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But where are the other than New Super Mario Bros., where are the first-person games for Nintendo right now?
Oh well, they have Pikmin, right?
Okay.
They're gonna come out with the kart game Mario Kart.
Okay.
So
Mario Kart Infinity.
Right, the one with the hovercrafts, which I'm very excited for. I mean, yeah, it's true. They take forever to get out their games. They know this is a huge problem for them. But Nintendo, it's the it's that child you have that you have to love, right? Because they're your kid, but you're stop fucking up.
I want to love you so much.
I want you to be my favorite child, but right now you're not.
Oh my goodness. And it's kind of interesting because with Nintendo I always felt like they should not release a console, no matter if it's underpowered or overpowered or whatever. They should not release a console until they have a first party game ready to go for it to show off its prowess.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that with the Wii? With Galaxy, basically.
No, Galaxy. I mean, they came out with Sports, right? Wii Sports was the one that came.
Oh yeah, that was like crap.
And that was able to sustain it until their other games came out. When this one came out, it didn't come out with any really games.
No, they did.
They did have the Super Mario Brothers.
Nintendo Land. That was
Nintendo Land.
Yeah, Nintendo
that's what they really.
But they didn't give it away for you. They should have given that away for free.
But it seemed like they put all their energy into Nintendo Land, and I've played Nintendo Land. I was like, man, this is a miss. And Wii Sports was like addicting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, on launch day, they also did have the Super Mario Brothers.
Well, I mean, because it's the same iteration that they had on Wii. It's just they put it on.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean,
it was a rehab.
I don't feel like they should have come out with a more top tier, like a Galaxy or something like that.
Super Mario. What did I call it? Super Mario time travel or something?
Probably.
Something ridiculous.
They should have come out with something that was just more top tier, as opposed to Nintendo Land or something stupid like that.
Nintendo, redo Mario in time, but like up to these time standards. Make it called Mario in time.
Well, I have a feeling that they're going to start doing a bunch of HD releases of their old ones. So like Sunshine will probably come out. And then the new Zelda, or what's it called, the Majora's Mask will probably come out.
Right.
So they'll start re-releasing those stuff in HD that probably people didn't have before that would like to check it out.
But if you're going to sell, because what you're doing essentially is trying to sell a console.
Right.
So if you already have this game and people are not going to buy a console if they just want the HD version.
Well, I think those are more for the hardcore fans. The HD re-releases of these games are going to be like, I got Wind Waker, just because I haven't played it in forever, and I'm interested to see what new things are bringing to that game specifically.
Well, my argument with that is like, okay, so what would Nintendo's philosophy be? Is it that they're focused on hardcore gamers? Because you're right, like typically HD releases are for hardcore gamers, but Nintendo's known to kind of open up for the casual crowd. Right. So my overall point is like they're kind of contradicting themselves. They seem really disjointed.
I think at this point they're trying to keep their core fans happy, right? At this point, that's why they're releasing those. And then within that time frame, I'm sure they're going to be trying new things, trying to get new games out. But they always have that safe base of those re-releases. That's where I think they're going.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, let's see.
He's like Dusty Controller.
Well, yeah, I haven't purchased a game since launch day. Now that Wind Waker's out, I'm actually could go out and buy that. And I'm waiting actually for the new Zelda HD that they kind of teased and talked about.
That's gonna be so long, though.
Yeah.
For Wind Waker?
No, the new Zelda, like a new Zelda.
Like just a new Zelda.
Yeah.
I think they're going to come out with like a new like Mario before they do.
Yeah, I'd love a new Galaxy or something like that, or Universe or whatever the hell it's gonna be called. I think that would be great. A great idea. Something to put it on that pad. And,
maybe they're going to wait until like next year because this is the year of Luigi or something like that.
yeah, I mean they have. I mean, they're in third place. They're in last place. They're at the bottom.
They're in fourth place behind their own system, the 3DS.
Yeah, and at this point, it's really you can only go up, right? Or at least that's what we're hoping for.
Okay. So, where do you think it was mistaken? Do you think it was bad business, bad marketing? Was it the gamer? Because you know how us gamers, our tastes can change and that can affect the console.
Right.
That happens a lot. What do you think really what it was, and each of you can make a point of that?
Well, I'll start, and I think they were too late for this console. Like, I mean, if they were gonna do it, this should have been like the Wii HD, like that came out, because everybody wanted like an HDMI and higher quality games and things like that. So it was a little bit too late. It was underpowered and it was too expensive.
Right.
And they didn't have the games, unfortunately. It's a company I still believe in, and I will still, champion them out there. Like every time they make a right move.
No, I love Nintendo.
But they need to get out of their bubble for sure.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
I mean, I think it is a lot to do with the marketing. I really think they mismarketed the whole system during E3.
Mm-hmm.
Made it really confusing, but I also think that it was the lack of games.
Right.
Now they're steadily trying to bring
You hear that, PlayStation? You hear that? Mike is trying to tell you something.
Bad. But it's not PlayStation's fault. A lot of them are third-party games.
Third-party, right? That's what. Also, I want to say is like, with these consoles coming out, what do you think is going to be the outcome of Nintendo Wii U? What do you think?
Will they be the Phoenix Rising? Actually, will it be the Zombie Rising from Wii?
Will it be the Zombie U? Was that like a precursor to what was happening?
The really good thing about Nintendo is that they follow their own drumbeat, right? They do whatever it is they want, and you really want them to stumble into that thing that's going to change gaming for the next consoles, that whatever they come out with.
Right.
Obviously, they changed Microsoft and PlayStation, with Move controllers and the Kinect and all that stuff, because none of that stuff would have happened if it wasn't for the Wii.
Right.
And they saw how much money the Wii was bringing in.
Right.
So I'm hoping they stumble into something that's just like, okay, this is all making sense. Even right now, PlayStation, they have their Vita.
Right.
That's going to be connected to their PlayStation 4, which I think is a great idea.
Right.
So,
and that sounds like it wasn't initially their idea.
Yeah, I agree with that. But they saw what Nintendo was doing, and they're just like, hey, we can do that. And
right.
We have better hardware.
Right. And Microsoft released Windows 8, and and that was a problem. And then they were like, all right, well, let's just come out with a console. That always makes us money.
Right. They have their Slate.
What? I've never heard that. Okay,
Slate 2.
The Slate 2. What is it, like Slate 2.1 or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, so what games are you playing now?
Cool. Well, I actually just finished beating Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, really? No, you mean Ellen Page and Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yes, Puff the Magic Dragon. And,
featuring Ellen Page. And Willem Dafoe.
And actually, I was really impressed with the game. I was talking to Andrick. I was saying that for gameplay, I wasn't too impressed because there really wasn't too much gameplay. It was a lot of QTEs, and just like Andrick had.
What's the name of that developer again?
Quantic Dreams.
Quantic Dreams, right? Welcome to a Quantum Dreams game.
Yeah, that's
Congrats.
Yeah, it was nothing but QTEs, but also, like he brought up, a lot of the choices you made didn't really make me feel like it impacted the game.
I see.
which was different from Heavy Rain.
So it seemed more like busy work rather than actually moving the.
It
The
seemed like a
story.
9-hour movie that I could have maybe watched in 2 hours if they just made a movie out of it.
I think that's where Quantum Dream is. I keep forgetting his name. I'm so sorry. His last name starts with a B, right? The guy who's over it.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. And definitely put in the comments in all caps, like it's this motherfucker. But what his focus was, he was so focused on making very realistic graphics so he can showcase an interactive movie. That's really what he wanted. But I think that's where the conflict is starting to come in, is because people want to watch movies and they want to play games at the end of the day.
Well, my suggestion to Quantic Dreams would be take a page from Telltale Games, or is it Telltale?
Telltale.
Yeah.
And the choices that you have when playing those games are just so epic, and you feel it right then and there.
That's what they did in Heavy Rain.
Exactly, but they took that away from this one, and I think that's where it fell apart for me as well. But I still loved it. It's one of those companies I love supporting because I have a feeling they're always innovating. They're always trying something different.
I'm always on the side of innovation. And this game kind of felt like, and you can totally correct me if I'm wrong, but this game kind of felt like they had an idea, like they had a new graphical engine, and they were like, all right, we got to build a game.
Right. With Ellen Page.
With Ellen Page. Because she...
From The Last of Us.
I was actually just about to make a joke about that.
Because she does stuff.
She's in all games now. She's Miss Pac-Man. It's a bow on her head.
What are you playing?
I finished what is it? Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I know what you finished.
No, I was telling them the game we were just talking about.
Beyond Two Souls?
Yes, I finished that game, and I was playing this indie game named Rain on the PlayStation Network, which I was
What do you like about it, like, really quickly? I heard terrible reviews.
I was really intrigued with the gameplay, the little gameplay I did see before I actually got my hands on it, and then it just got really generic really fast.
That's too bad.
So yeah, I was pretty sad, so I didn't finish it. Then I jumped into GTA 5, and that's kind of been in my realm. I just beat that one.
Just mowed it down.
Yeah, I mowed it down. It's a great story. I mean, I'm sure everybody's played it, their mom. And what I'm playing right now is Batman. And I'm like an hour into the new Batman Origins game. And I got it for the Vita as well, which I haven't opened that one yet. So
I've been so wrapped up in myself, I forgot that Batman Origins was coming out like soon.
Yeah.
I've seen like the commercial like over and over and over again.
Came out yesterday.
Yeah, it came out. So you can go grab it and be Bruce Wayne.
How do you feel about it so far?
I'm lackluster right now. It didn't...
no Arkham City love.
But again, I'm only an hour into it. It's just it didn't hit me the same way. I was expecting better graphics. Maybe
the first two, like everyone always shows the introductions of the first two, which were so amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll click in for me. I'm hoping it will. But that's where I'm at with it right now. Just an hour into it. So.
And I kind of agree. The beginning didn't have that hook like the previous Arkham games did.
Yeah.
I mean the gameplay feels just like any other Arkham game.
Right.
But I think, hopefully we're both wrong, but hopefully the story will pick up, and I think that might be the downfall with this Arkham. It'll feel like the other Arkham games, but I think the story is what's going to lack.
Okay. Since I haven't played it yet, does it have anything to do with Arkham? Because it's Batman Origins. Does it have anything to do with Arkham?
I'm an hour into it, so I can tell you.
It started off in Arkham.
Okay, so it started off in Arkham.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Because I didn't want them to be like, yeah, this is the Arkham, and then he goes,
it's on a beach.
Yeah, he goes on Hawaii or something. Like, okay,
peace out, bitches.
you know, he does that Assassin's Creed. You know, like, it's like okay, or Metal Gear Solid. Don't get me started on that. But I finally started playing Madden. It plays just like every other Madden.
Is that the feet ball?
The feet ball? No, that's not the feet ball. That's the throw ball, but it's called feet ball.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because us Americans are backwards.
Gotcha.
That's what we do. Man, it like the graphics are amazing, but the gameplay is just so they. I don't know what they. I always question if they've actually watched a football game. I know that if somebody at EA is probably like throwing their coffee or something, right? But it just feels like I'm like it's probably either too hard to program, or they've never watched a football game.
What's making you say that?
Well, just how the whole game kind of flows. Like in football, there's you have check downs, you have strategies, and how players react to other players. That's the biggest thing. That's always been the biggest. The toughest thing to implement in a video game and in a sports game is how players react to other players. And what I mean by that is like blocking. Blocking is a very important thing in football. That's how you develop plays and things of that nature. And one player has a problem with, okay, he's initially blocking this person and the ball carrier is going over here somewhere. Mm-hmm. So there's another defender coming to get that ball carrier. So that blocker is not in the right mind to say, all right, disengage with him and go over and block the other person. Mm-hmm. Madden has had that problem for 20 years. 20 years to say, okay, I need to get away from this and go to this, which is a very, very common thing in real sports where they're like, all right, I need to get away from this, block this guy, all right, block this guy so I can score a touchdown.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to, what were some short-term games that you're looking forward to?
That are coming out?
Yeah, just short-term. Like next month. Because I'm looking forward to NBA 2K14.
I mean, the new consoles are coming out, so I'm looking forward to, Assassin's Creed 4 should be out shortly.
Okay. Start from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah.
That's the name of it. That's the subtitle of that. Apparently from the Assassin's Creed trailer.
Yeah.
No.
Thanks, Drake.
They really should have Drake playing in Uncharted.
What else? Oh, I'm also looking forward to Marvel, the Lego Marvel superheroes. I mean, I've liked the
next. No. So you're going to play the Marvel?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually a fan of the Lego games.
No, they were actually really good games. They're making a movie out of. It's called like the Lego Movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's how popular it is.
Yeah.
You go Legoland.
And but of course, Dead Rising 3.
Okay.
And all the next gen games that are coming out.
All right. What about you, Andrew?
Gosh, honestly, you know what? One game I didn't mention that I played was The Wolf Among Us, and the reason I'm bringing that up is a great game. Gosh, it
looks good.
I think, and I was telling Mike this. I was so surprised how much I liked it. I think you actually like it more than The Walking Dead.
Wow,
that's saying a lot.
And it's only one chapter though, so I'm really excited about it because it's about if you don't know, it's a comic book called Fables. So and they're taking that and put it into this Telltale game.
That's where it's from because I've been trying to figure out where it's from forever because I know about the comic book Fables.
Yeah, so they took that kind of story and brought it into. So that being said, I'm looking forward to the next chapters of those games.
That being said, here's my money.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
And as far as new consoles coming out, I'm more excited about the hardware and playing around with it than the games coming out. I'm sure I'll play, the zombie game, whatever it is.
Dead Rising 3.
Yeah, that one. But I'm just there are no games right now that I'm just like, I can't wait. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 did that for me.
I'm doing that with Project Racing. Forza Motorsports. I'm really looking forward to
Pretty
that.
cars.
Yeah.
Going fast.
Driving fast. Short turns that you actually have to do. You actually have to drive. It's ridiculous. And I'm really, really getting adjusted to the new voice of Solid Snake. Or Naked Snake, I should say. Kiefer Sutherland. Trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
I had to listen to the trailer like about 3 times. Like, all right, just build it into my head. Yeah.
Yeah. It's rough. They changed a Splinter Cell. They got a new I'm the person who do Splinter Cell's
I
voice, and I still can't wrap my head around it. It's like it doesn't feel like a Splinter Cell game.
Yeah, it feels like another type of person, right?
Yeah, and I just don't. I'm not getting into the game, and I kind of did a couple missions. I'm like, I'm kind of done with it. I could see why it's not selling very well.
Well, what were you gonna say, Mike?
I actually just thought of another game that I beat not too long ago. Disney Infinity.
Oh, which is playing behind us in the blur that you can see. But yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it has a lot of potential. I mean it's definitely not a game for your hardcore gamer, but it is a game for kids and just for fans of Disney. Andrick actually
And 30-year-old man.
Andrick actually had a really good point of view when he first started. How it made you feel.
Oh, the intro to this game is fucking amazing. I don't know if you guys have ever read any Narnia books or anything like that, but it was very much the world coming together. And without getting into too many spoilers, it's just amazing. I mean, the intro to it was just amazing. I wish the rest of the game felt that way. I haven't really played around with the characters. Mike let me borrow it, so I'm slowly getting into it. I haven't touched it in a while since all these other games have come out. But they're always releasing characters like Skylanders and stuff like that you can buy.
Oh, that's cool.
Jack Skellington just came out. Toy Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, it's definitely a good marketing thing for Disney to make lots of more money.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's our 2Industry segments. If you enjoyed it, definitely give us likes and comment on anything that we said, especially us playing kids game. That's and if you can get used to any of the new voices or what character voices have changed that you didn't like or you did like and you thought it was for the better, put that in the comments as well. All right, we'll catch you
And cars usually say "wash me." This actually with the dust, I typed in "play me."
Play me. See it later, everyone.
All right.